In the world of today, when a harmful event takes place, it is quite obvious that the public response is always emotional. When we look at events such as terrorism, when a terrorist attack occurs, the initial response is instantly shock, sadness, and sympathy. But when the dust begins to settle, the response always changes to a vengeful outcry for war. As usual, the terrorists responsible are at the end of this demand for revenge. This is a justifiable demand, and when it's fulfilled, then the public is temporarily satisfied. But every so often, these terrorist attacks happen time and time again. The outcry goes louder with each one, but no matter how many bombs are dropped, the people are truly never content because it's only a matter of time before the next attack occurs. This leads to frustration and anger. The public's confusion for why these attacks continue to occur leads them to look for the source of the problem. This causes a certain group to be targeted. Many have associated terrorism with the Islamic belief and believe it to be the source. But if we actually have a look at the data, religiously motivated attacks only account for a small fraction in Europe. But Americans still have an unfavorable view of Islam across all parties, and when another attack happens, the number of unfavorable only get higher. This unfavorability is placing Muslim people to be under constant scrutiny. They are being accused of following religion that has no place in our Western culture. These accusations are happening in the media and being influenced by political leaders. The result is taking a huge effect on the way the public views Islam.
6% of Americans believe that the Syrian refugees have odds that are at values, their values are at odds with our values. That may not be wrong.
I am holding in my hand the Muslim Brotherhood plan for the destruction of the United States, written 5/22/1991.
Donald J. Trump is calling for a total and complete shutdown of Muslims entering the United States until our country's representatives can figure out what the hell is going on.
Donald Trump is now saying Muslims should not be allowed to enter this country until the U.S. figures out what's going on. Do you agree with that?
Yes, I do.
Why?
I don't want them here.
Thanks, Karina. He's just saying no Muslim should be allowed to enter the country right now. You agree? Yes or no? It's that simple.
Yes.
Your filthy book is a book of lies. It's a new testament. Don't burn it.
As you can see, there is a strong dislike towards Islam. The inaccurate conclusion is that the Quran, the Muslims' Bible, has a great influence over Muslims' daily lives and is influencing violence. This made us wonder about Christianity, a religion that is said to have greatly influenced our own culture. So we decided to set up an experiment. We have purchased the Bible and disguised it as a Holy Quran. We then highlighted a couple of shocking verses that are in great contrast with our Western norms and values. We cannot take all the credit for this experiment because it has been done by others around the world. But we wanted to see what's going on in the minds of students here at Downingtown West. Okay, let's see what happens when we read some verses from the Bible to people here at West. So since the recent attacks in San Bernardino and Paris, Islam has been under constant scrutiny, and Muslims are being accused of following a religion that has no place in our Western culture. So here we have the Quran, which is basically the Muslims' Holy Bible, and this is thought to be the main intent behind terrorist attacks. We would like to read a few random passages from the Quran and see if you agree.
Okay.
If you abhor my laws or reject my commands, you will have to eat the flesh of your own daughters and your own sons. I do not allow for a woman to teach. If she does, you will have to cut off her hand and do not forgive her. If two men sleep together, you will have to kill them. Do you think there's any violence in here?
Absolutely. I mean, if you look at that in correlation with what's happening in the Middle East, you have innocent people getting their heads cut off and babies being thrown off roofs and people starting fires for no reason. It's absolutely ridiculous. I think some stupid religion like this definitely doesn't belong in our Western culture.
If you were to compare this to the Holy Bible, what do you think the biggest difference is?
The Holy Bible doesn't promote violence and terrible acts like that. There's no way.
Telling them to like cut off their hands and just kill them if they're not like.
Okay, well we actually have a surprise for you today. See, this is actually not the Holy Quran, this is actually the Holy Bible.
You're kidding, right?
Actually, Holy Bible.
That's the Holy Bible.
Right.
Why would that be in the Holy Bible?
Does this surprise you?
Yes, 100%, because you would never think terrible stuff like that would be in the Holy Bible.
That's ridiculous. There's no way that's the Bible. I've read the Bible. That's definitely not in there. No.
But if you were a Muslim reading the Holy Bible, do you think Christians would be radical?
Yes, 100%. Yeah.
No. Screw you. No, there's no.
As you can see, the shock was palpable when students found out the verses they had just heard were actually part of the Christian holy text. Our experiment was a way to highlight our prejudice as a society about Islam, one that has been fed to us from mass media over the past couple of years. Thanks for watching.